Capirsi. Hey, Capirsi.
It's easy. Get it easy? Caprese?
I remember wear Caprice pants.
So easy.
So easy, Caprisi.
See?
All right, let's wait for people to come on here.
Works for me.
Even the Bri, I was sure it was Bri, but then again, I'm old and I don't know. BRI could be a lot of different
I
things.
say you're old when I'm older than you.
Oh,
That's
this is
rude.
true. Hello, everyone. Hello, Laura. How you doing? Good to see everyone. We'll wait till a few more people come on before we introduce our guests here. How you doing, everyone? As promised, we were on last night, too. Maureen, how are you? Good evening, everyone. I hate this one here. Louis,
Satori. Hello, Satori.
Louis, Antonio,
Satori Hawes is on.
Kara, Susan, Carmen, Bonnie, how is everyone? All right, we're going to settle in here in a minute. David, Angela, Carrie, good evening. See, I like people that say good evening. Peachy. I don't like people that say peachy.
No, don't believe him, Maureen. Don't listen to him, Maureen.
Peachy is not a good.
Yes, I'm peachy.
Louis, how are you? Teresa, how you doing? Harmony. Now that's a good name, Harmony. Like, not enough harmonies out there anymore. Denise. Denise's last name is Fokker, by the way.
Really?
You ever seen
It
Meet the Fockers? No? That's before your time. Hello, Satori. How are you? Okay. So, as promised, our guest tonight is Bri Capirsi. Huh? Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Bri, I found as I was going on different pages and looking up different things and I don't even know how I came across your YouTube video, but I clicked on it and I was just watching you speak about spiritual things and other things and I showed it to Chris here and we were both, again, first of all, kind of by your demeanor and the way you talk, like you're just kind of laid back and you speak your truth and you come across as kind of genuine. So I was like, I think I want to talk to this person. So I reached out to her. Actually, no, you reached out to us about the expo. That's how the whole thing started.
Like,
and I
probably how you found me.
And I clicked on your video. And so then we talked last week and I was just like, wow, she's kind of interesting. And you have an interesting story. Mm-hmm. So how would you kind of describe yourself? Would you describe yourself as a medium at this point or sort of a learning medium?
I mean, yeah, that's the whole
thing. A medium, small, medium.
That's been my whole problem, I feel like, with coming into this thing is like, well, if I say I'm a medium, then like that, like everyone knows what that means. They're like, so there's something associated with that term. And so I feel comfy saying I'm a medium. Yeah. Like I get messages from the other side.
So again, we were talking and I want to go back to the beginning and her story is really interesting because what age was it where you said you started feeling those body? I want you to describe it because I won't describe it the right way, but kind of describe what was going on at first.
Yeah, I was in, I guess the body stuff started happening to me like early teens, like 11 or 12. And I started having these weird things that would happen with my body that didn't make any sense. Like at first, so it was like neurological stuff. I would have like extreme tics, and then I would have like my legs would just fall to the floor, or I'd be like laying catatonic. And so then like I'd go to the neurologist and I'd go to the doctor, and I went to so many doctors because I was a runner and I was trying to get a scholarship and all this stuff. And every time I went in, they just said like, you're crazy, nothing's wrong with you. Like
now, how long was that going on for? Like, how old were you when it started, and like what kind of time period are we talking about?
I mean, it started when I was like 11, 12, and then like until I turned 27 was
scary.
Yeah, I was a freak show. Like I would be at a funeral and people couldn't get, like I would drop to the floor and people like couldn't get my attention.
Oh my God.
And like, or like I'd be at work and something would happen and I like became scared of myself in social situations because of how often my sickness, my mysterious illness, I called it, for a long time.
But the tics, were they facial or were they body or were
they were all they were like neck, they were like my legs, like my body, it was a lot my abdomen, like my body would like throw forward.
Did this happen at school as well? Because you said from
Yes.
age, oh my God, that must have been
Yes.
not
Really,
so
that
fun.
must have been really difficult on a personal and private level for you, so publicly like that.
Yes.
So, but the doctors, the MDs and the neurological doctors said nothing, right? There's
I
nothing
had all
kind
the
of showing you.
scans, and like, you know, my mom took me to so many doctors when I was younger, and I continued after that trying to find a doctor that could tell me differently. I've had actually really bad experiences with doctors. Like one doctor just told me like, oh, well, the only people I know that have done this are people that were abused when they were younger, so you must have been abused. And I was like, I don't want to talk to you.
Oh my God. So, but did you see, I mean, was a psychiatrist or a therapist, were they in the picture at any point?
Yeah, so I mean, they all that's what they thought was wrong with me. They're like, this girl is just, maybe she's just making this stuff up for attention, or like maybe she's just really sad, and like all this is just her, like the way she's processing depression. Like, I don't know. So I did go, and I like was on meds, but the problem is it still happened. Like doing all that stuff and going down that road still.
So then what happened? You told me you met somebody, right? Is that when it started, your kind of journey there with understanding or tapping in?
So I actually like was researching online about like body stuff, like trying to figure out what was wrong with me. And I came across a video that was like, are you psychically gifted? And there was someone that had like said that things could be like a symptom, like that could be.
And so you discovered this all by yourself, doing research to try to find answers.
Yeah, it was really scary.
Oh my God.
How remarkable.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I will say though, there was, when I was 21, I had a very scary, freaky experience where a medium did tell me like, hey, I know what's going on with you. Like, and I didn't listen to her because I was too scared.
Oh, wow.
If the doctors couldn't figure it out, how could this person who says they're a psychic know?
So you're doing this research, and what did you come across that kind of pointed you in the direction of?
Well, so I found that video, and then I was like, well, I'll talk to like a medical intuitive. So that was my next step. And so then medical intuitive I talked to, she is also like me. She's built like me. I did get to meet her in person. Like we connected. So like, oh my gosh, it's like meeting another me. And she was like, do this, like do everything I'm doing and like see what happens.
You said that part of it was like meditative, right?
Yeah, it's like, it's the way that you channel your energy.
And that kind of, did it initially have an effect on your body and the tics and stuff, like right off the bat, or did it take a little while before that started to slow down?
I'm trying to think back what my experiences were. I lived most of my life dissociating because so many freaky things had happened with my body that I just didn't want to live in it, really.
Yeah, I get it.
So I would just be in social situations just like staring blankly and not.
I did that at 53. So
being present. And so basically she told me to come into my body and to move energy through, like straight through the channel.
Okay.
And when I started doing that, I started getting really freaky messages.
See, this is what we talked about. And this is why I was like, and did you talk to a psychiatrist after that? Well, let her talk about what she was starting to see.
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead.
Like, okay. So I was like staying at a Airbnb, and so I was like, I heard Elmo playing very loudly, and I couldn't stop it. Like it was just like Elmo was playing nonstop in my head, like Elmo's world. And then there was this little girl that started talking to me. And I think this is maybe like the weird part with me is like when I first started to do this, like it was all these children because I was a school teacher. Like it was these dead children that were like,
oh my God,
talking to me.
Oh my God. It's like the Sixth Sense almost, but only
Yeah.
you're
Yeah, but you go
you're like
from-
the little kid, not.
You get the body reactions, and then all of a sudden she's getting these crazy messages coming through. I mean,
I was an emotional mess.
Oh.
Like, I was horrified that such terrible things had happened to these kids.
But you were describing, again, we talked about, you saw like
the thing that I told you,
decapitations and
yeah,
like really. So what are you thinking at this point? Like, are you thinking like, oh my God, I went down the rabbit hole of insanity here? Are you thinking,
I'm crazy? Yes.
Or were you thinking, hey, are these messages from kids? Where were you at this point, if you remember?
I was trying to process it all because I was like, again, it's like back and forth for a really long period of time. I was like, is this happening to me? Is this not happening to me? But then my own investigative work came in, and I was like, was there a girl nearby that got decapitated? And there was.
See, I told you. And what did you think? Was that the gotcha moment of, holy crap, I'm tapping into?
Yeah.
Of all the things to tap into, though, like it wasn't like the old grandma that passed away in a rocket chair. You're seeing like gruesome.
It was extreme, gruesome, graphic stuff. Yeah.
How did you hold it together, Bri? I mean, this isn't like fluff and nutter stuff. This is.
I had my psychic medium friend that I met that was helping me. That's really the only thing I can say because I couldn't talk to regular like family members.
No, well, how could anyone understand that? I mean, honestly. So that affected your social, your interaction. How about with your family? Did that also cause a little bit of a wall?
I know that. Well, so the way that like my family found out was also I started hearing my little cousin that had gotten shot when he was little. And so he came through and he had messages. And so I was telling my family like, this thing.
Did they believe you? I mean, were they?
My mom did, yeah.
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 Can I ask what kind of messages? Was it just that he's okay and?
Yeah, like I mean, there's a lot of traumatic stuff that's happened on my mom's side,
right.
And so he just had messages for like my aunt, like his mom, and like because she's had a very hard time dealing with that, but a lot of it was funny stuff, really, because he was just telling me things that he's like, oh, like tell them this, and there was actually even one time that I was playing cards with my grandma, and he was coming through so clearly and strongly, and he wanted to play cards with grandma. And
oh wow, that's cool.
I was like, wait, what?
That's cool. Did you tell her? Or?
No, I didn't. And then, and she was beating me because she's so good at cards. She's from the West. She's just like, like she wins each time. But then he started telling me which cards to place where.
I was just gonna say you should have been like, go over there and look at grandma's hand. Tell me what she's got.
And then I was winning every round, and she was like, "How are you doing this?"
How funny is that?
A little bit of help from the other side.
So I hate to dwell on the dark stuff, but besides that, was there more than just that one girl? Were you seeing other visions of other kids that were?
Yeah, I mean that was because it wasn't just one situation. Yeah. It happened over and over and over again. Everywhere I would move, and I was traveling at this point, and so every time I'd settle in a new place, new dead people.
Oh my God. See, that is bizarre. See, you know what that reminds me of? Like I said, when we first got into this, and the word medium to me, and again, you're younger than me, but there was a movie Ghost with Patrick Swayze. I don't know if you ever saw it, but Whoopi Goldberg. I always thought all mediums were like Whoopi Goldberg. Like they would go out there and spirits would just come near them and bug them and talk to them and they could see them. But all these years later, I know it doesn't work that way. But what you're kind of describing is you go to a different area and whatever.
You're the beacon, you're the light.
And what's weird about that is that I'm sure you didn't know how to control it, or if you could control it at that point, like it would just happen.
Yeah.
Was this at night, during the day, or just it could happen anytime?
At all times. Yeah.
Get out of here. That is crazy.
That's overwhelming. I mean, we're talking very lightly about it, but that has a huge impact.
No, I had, and you know what, I have had a very, very traumatic experience from doing this, and now I know how to protect myself.
Okay, that's what that was gonna be one of my questions too. Did that medium or medical, what do you call it? Medical intuitive? What's it called? The person you
Yeah, she does a bunch of stuff, but
did,
like
did they tell you how to kind of open and close and control and protect and all that other stuff?
one of my friends, the same friend that had told me when I was, I came crying back to her. I was like, Shelly, you were right. I am a medium. And she's like, yeah, I know. Like, what? I should have seen you back here a long time ago.
See, we interviewed a guy named Ryan Michaels who was featured on the TV show Psychic Kids, and now he mentors kids that are psychic.
Oh, cool.
And I mean, his story is kind of like yours a little bit. I mean, I couldn't imagine one day just, you know what I mean, hearing and see. Could you hear and see, or was it just the visions you were getting initially?
I only see apparitions at night. Like, yeah, I hear mostly. Hearing is my main.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, that's something different too, because again, a lot of them try to kind of put the information you're getting together visually. So when what was it, your cousin or your nephew? Who were you seeing when you were playing cards with your grandma?
My cousin, yeah.
Your cousin, you heard his voice.
Uh-huh.
That is nuts. See, I would think I was going crazy. I would.
I did think I was going.
Well, especially after having the physical effects.
No, I would. I'd check myself into a mental hospital and be like, do something to stop these voices. Give me.
Well, but here's also the thing. After I started doing that and getting the information, I didn't have problems with my body anymore.
Wow. See, that's crazy.
One trade off to another. I mean.
Yeah, I think I take a tick or two over, the girl with no head talking to me.
I mean, was it a win situation?
I think I might go. That'd be a tough trade-off.
I know. What would I have rather done? Would I have rather been like sitting in the dark, like, and not being able to move, like being catatonic?
So could you converse with these spirits initially, or was it just you were getting from one side and you weren't able to connect with them?
I was talking with them.
Really?
Yeah.
And they were acknowledging that and responding to it.
Mm-hmm.
That is weird.
Brave girl.
Wow, that's weird.
Yeah. Brave.
See, that's
listen, I know his mind. He's like rapid fire because the curiosity and just wanting to learn from you. But
and the caffeine.
The other side of this is that I want people to see the human side of this. You're not this outer being, you're a human being, flesh and blood, with the things that happened to you from the time you were young to when you finally discovered what this was and somebody helped guide you on this. The horror and the isolation and the trauma of what you experienced is a really big deal to come out of this. The positive person that you are is really remarkable, Bri. Really remarkable.
Thank you. And that's why I want to tell my story, because I know there's other people out there that are like me.
And that's why I wanted to have you on, because even when we were talking about what you're doing with this now, you were like, no, I'm not charging people I'm not making money off of this. I'm not trying to do that. And I'm not saying anybody's wrong for doing that. We know a lot of people that make a living, using their mediumship abilities, and I don't knock them for that. But you weren't really, that's not something you're really looking for, right?
It's not really something that I'm I don't need to do it. I mean, obviously I love astrology. That's actually where I enjoy things. But when it comes to the mediumship and the doing that kind of work with other people, I want to maybe explore my gifts in that way and see if I can fine tune them. But I don't I'm not in it to make the money.
But do you do readings, right? Do you readings for friends or family?
Yeah, I've done quite a few, and I'm just kind of offering them for free, just to whoever.
Well, that's what I mean. Again, we were talking about this the other day. Who were we talking about? Judy Harkey. I mentioned Judy to you. She's the one who could sketch a picture of the people that she sees that are connected to the, and I was saying to her, as soon as you, for lack of a better term, come out with your abilities, people, it's just human nature to if I had you in a room and we were hanging out and we were talking and things got a little boring or whatever, I'd be like, hey, Bri,
you're the party.
anybody over here?
Yeah.
That's does that happen to you, like with family, friends, and
Yeah, it does.
do you just do it, or do you just like no? I'm not.
I think I try to treat it a little bit more like sacred. Like I want it to like be just like one-on-one with a person.
She's
Like
a
I don't know
Pierce.
It's not
Pierce.
cheesy
Gonna
to
come
you,
through.
and I like that.
I would be the worst. I would be like on the corner with like a little stand, like a lemonade stand, readings, and I'd be making money every minute of every day. I would. That's probably why I don't have that ability, because I would be like in my car to stop, like going, hey man, there's somebody with you. Pull over. You got $20?
If he could
Pull
count
over.
cards, he'd be at the casinos.
I would.
Yeah.
I would. That's why I didn't get the gift. But again, this is again what we were talking about that day, her and I, and then when we had the conversation, I heard about the ticks, and this is kind of like, and I told her about Judy, where she thought she was mentally ill when she was little, and because of her mom. It's got to be traumatic. Like I couldn't imagine being a kid is hard enough. Period. If you, God forbid, your one eyebrow's higher than another, or whatever,
Those are
kids
simple
are going to be
problems
brutal.
compared to.
But you're dealing with ticks
Mhm.
and spirits. I would be like, you know what? Yeah, just
No
give me the
control.
medication and let me be numb.
I don't have gifts. I had horrible experiences growing up. The trauma of it, where 3 sisters would not share a room with me, and I was very isolated. So the not being comfortable around other people is this is why I think you're remarkable to come out of this side of this and be and who you are and wanting to educate and talk to people and show them is amazing.
Somebody asked if back then could you sleep at night, and can you sleep at night now? Like,
I sleep at night now because I have my guides. I have like the angels wrapping around me, like keeping me safe. I learned how to protect myself. When I was younger, I couldn't sleep without something in the room on, or like the TV on. I couldn't sleep without that.
I'm like that now, believe it or not. I can't. Quiet is my enemy. If I'm in the shower, the radio's on. If I'm going to bed, the TV's on. But I couldn't imagine, again, not knowing how to control that. Like the way I picture it is...
And not understanding what was going on with her.
Yeah, but the way I picture it is like, again, she said it happened all the time. Crap, you're going to the, go get a sub. And if you were in the vicinity of someone who... And I do believe, because we did talk to certain mediums where they were saying... Because I would always say to them, why, like especially little kids, why do spirits seek them out? Like these kids that are... And the medium said they're like a beacon. If spirit notices someone with your abilities, they're going to go right towards that light, because it's again, the frequency is stronger than someone like me. I'm going to not pick up on anything because I'm not, whatever. But someone like you're an open channel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like the way that I kind of understand it is like they're either coming to check me out because they're confused and need to talk about something, or they're coming to check me out to see if they can like affect how like me.
No, what do your friends think about it? Do they believe it? Do they kind of doubt it, or are they supportive?
I think, I mean, yeah, I'm sure a lot are freaked out and don't really talk to me about it. Yeah. I have like a small circle that are, they've said like, we're going to be there no matter what.
And your mom is one of those people that support you. And
yeah, my mom has been like, I thought she was going to be more freaked out than she actually was. She's like, I don't really believe in this stuff, but you just keep telling me your stories and maybe I'll come around.
I mean, did you ever prove it to her? Like, did her mother ever come through to you, or anybody?
Well, her mom's still alive, but yeah, my grandfather, actually, that was a story of like, I was like, he keeps calling you Sam. Like, what's the deal with Sam? And he died when I was like really young. And she was like, that's his nickname for me. And I was like, oh.
See, right there, that she should have believed. I would be like, hey.
But you're not catching even her mom didn't necessarily have to believe every single thing or buy into it.
She's a
She
mom.
believed in her.
Yeah, she's a mom.
She
Mom
believed
was
in
supposed to do
Bri,
that.
and that's more important than anything when you're dealing with anything.
So let's talk about the astrology stuff.
Sure.
Again, something I've never dove into yet. We've done the spirit animal, which I told you mine was better than hers. We did the auras. Mine was better yet again. We never really. Astrology is astrology like, the signs like Scorpio, Capricorn, and all that?
Mhm.
Oh, so that's part of it?
Yep.
Okay, I'm in trouble there, I think.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Because I know my sign is not one of the better ones.
Okay, I'm about to go into it if you want me to.
Not in a minute. You asked for birth date, birth time, and birth location. That's all that you asked for.
Yes.
For the two of us.
Mhm.
What is your process of doing these readings? Maybe you go into that. Like, how do you prep for them after you get that information? What comes next?
Yeah, so when I do people's astrology, I actually prefer to write it out because I love to write. And so I'll like write out charts for people that are like personalized.
Okay.
And so I'll like tap into the energy. And this is like really where I'm kind of different as an astrologer, is that I feel like a lot of astrologers are just like, well, I know what Gemini means. Like I can tell you all about Gemini, but like I am coming from the place of like, someone's experience is going to change based on the energy that they're expressing as a soul. So like all the signs have different ways that you could express the energy that's presented. And so if you plug that into like a calculator, it'll tell you something, but it won't tell you like what your energy is doing.
So you're using both? You're using the astrology part of it along with sort of an intuitive part of it?
Yeah, she's not just doing a little printout. Well, you're a Gemini. This is
that's what
she's actually. It's you personally that she's pulling your energy.
See, that's what about even with the tarot stuff. I know some of them do intuitive tarot readings where they lay down the cards and they add their own whatever to it, but others stick strictly to the cards where they're like, okay, that's the upside down dagger, and
well, that's
but it's almost like me playing Uno or a card game. It's like I could do that too if I knew what they meant.
There are doctors who are really good and there are doctors who are really bad. There are really good psychic mediums and they're really bad.
That's what I would rather have someone who knew the astrology part of it and did it intuitively to give that, like you said, the energy. That's kind of important rather than I could go look up my birth sign and my chart and go bing, 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 bing.
Everybody has a process.
I know we're a match. That much I know. Please say we're a match.
I actually did pick up on that.
You didn't?
Yeah. You did.
I did. You guys are you do very well together.
Yeah, but again, mostly my side. I'm sure my chart just probably blends with everything. I'm like,
this is a really good question.
Okay.
Teresa said, what if you're born 2 months earlier? Does it affect the reading? Well, she's just assuming if I was supposed to be, but
it doesn't work that way. It's when you're born.
That's a valid question.
So it's when the soul enters the body is what this is based off of. Yeah.
When you're born.
Yeah.
When you come out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's no pre-soul in there. It's when it comes out of the oven. And the little turkey popper thing pops up. That's your born day. That when you come out of the oven, that's your born day. Now, see, I have to teach you people everything. Maybe we'll talk about that on another show. How babies are made and when they come out of the oven. But that's for another live. I did. My mom sent me to a psychologist. Tarot card is challenging. I'm not into tarot cards. So that's me. Again, there's a lot of... And I told Bri this when we talked on the phone. I'm a skeptic at heart. I've seen some mediums that I can't explain what they do, 100%. I've seen others that I thought they were fishing and it's very general information. I've witnessed that table tipping crap that I told you I don't believe in.
He calls himself a cynic. He calls himself a skeptic, but he's really a cynic.
No, I want to believe. It's like X-Files. I want that shirt. I want to believe. Okay, so let's do yours first because we know mine is better and everybody's probably waiting for mine. So let's start with Chris.
Okay. So Well, I'm gonna do just like to give everyone kind of like a precursor of like how I look at this is like so the planets are the aspects of our personality. And so people will say like, oh, Sun and Gemini. Well, Sun's actually only your outer expression. It's not actually like everything that's a part of you. So you have all the planets that are the different aspects of your personality. You have the signs, which are like kind of like the clothes that they wear, like, you know, like what the personality is like doing. And then like there's the houses in the chart, which are
Oh my God, this is like Game of Thrones all of a sudden. Am I going to need a book for this?
Hush up.
Holy cow, I feel like I'm missing things already. Go ahead.
So, you know, so it's important to point out before I start this is that like everyone has the whole astrological chart inside of them.
Okay.
And the planets are where we're naturally pulled. So, yeah, I just wanted to make that clarification. Because it's not just like, oh, like I can't, like, for example, I'm a Pisces. So it's not that like I'm only going to play out the Pisces stuff. It's that It's up to me to balance out my life by looking at the other signs to see how I can use them too. So yeah, so Chris, you have a sun in Virgo and it's in your third house. So to me, that reads as Virgo is someone that likes to improve something and you're into making something better. And in the third house, that would be related to like the close people that you have with you or your local community, local networks. Virgo is a very nurturing sign. And so like, I feel like your outer expression is very nurturing towards others. You have a moon in Pisces. I also have a moon in Pisces. And it's in your 8th house. So this would be someone that's a very compassionate person. This is someone that can really feel other people's emotions. Like it's almost like you just absorb like what they're feeling all the time. You're probably very intuitive and like people like you'll sense something going on with someone without like them knowing it. Like you'll just be like, oh, that's probably what's going on with them. And then it's like, sure enough, that is like what was going on with them. So it's kind of this emotional superpower of being able to sense emotion.
Let's not use superpower till you get to mine, please. Thank you.
So then we have your Mercury, which is how you express and take in information. And it's in your house, it's in Libra, sign of Libra, which means throughout your days, you're probably communicating and taking in information with your close relationships, either with partners or with close friends and family, or people that you look at as your family, because it's really just like the people you keep close to you. And so likely that's how you're learning things. That's how you're being interested in things. It's like what you want to talk about is maybe things that they bring up because you want to take a deeper dive into that stuff. And that's what I got for how you process information. So Mars is the action planet, and it's what you spend a lot of time doing. And your Mars is in Sagittarius, which is super cool. That's like, I want to go on an adventure. Like, let's go. Let's go have an adventure. And it's even in your house, the 5th house of like being like a child, being very playful. Children probably even feel safe with you because they can sense that sense of like childlike, like wonder and curiosity in you. So that's it. What I picked up for that is you're just like always down for an adventure.
And that was the Mars was in. Okay.
Yeah, Mars.
Trying to pay attention.
I know
I think my Mars is in Uranus. I was just waiting for that joke to.
Of course. Oh my goodness.
He's an adventure. He's an adventure.
Wait till she gets to me. You watch.
Venus in Leo. So So Venus is how either you make your money or how you take care of yourself or how you love yourself and others. And in Leo, that's a very open heart. It's a very playful as well. It's related to the child house. This is what I'm saying. There's so much child energy in your chart of like either like really understanding kids or really like wanting to be a kid yourself. Like you might have like really cool creative ideas. You're like, well, let's do this. Like this sounds like a lot of fun. And people are like, yeah, I'd love to do that. And so if you don't make money in an entertaining way, I feel like you would do well making money, like when it comes to like entertaining and like creative ideas. Just because that's where your Venus is. And it's also like, you know, when you think about like, what can I do to take care of myself? You're like, I want to have fun doing something. Let's go do something fun. So
makes sense.
It is.
Totally.
With the kids and everything, that's dead on. Dead on. I don't know about the superpower thing, but everything else sounds like right.
Somebody asked, does that make me an empath?
Having a moon in Pisces? Yeah.
No, so can Chris be an empath also? I think that just means, I think empath is a word that's used an awful lot, but being empathetic is who I am.
Right.
And that is part of.
Well, empath in the sense they believe you can feel the energy of what's around you.
I'm extremely affected by people around me, 100%.
Your moon in Pisces could have a lot to do with that. You could feel like very emotional when other people are telling you their stories. People come to you to tell you their stories because they know that.
That's true. Oh my God, you have no idea how true that is.
Yeah.
If there's a wacko in the bunch, they're going to come find her and they're going to tell her.
And it breaks my heart. I feel there's no turn off. I feel compassion. I feel hurt for them.
And with that Leo open heart too, you're just like, oh wow, I just want to take.
It breaks my heart too, but much later, much later. We're talking probably years later. I feel.
Okay. Next, your Saturn is your sense of authority and how you assert it.
Hold on, let me listen close to this one because I want to hear this. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So it's in Aries.
Yep.
You both have a Saturn in Aries. Okay. This is like important to note about both of you. You're both kind of take initiative in things. But hers is in the 9th house, which tells me that she asserts her authority by having new experiences that you can tell other people about. Like that's like what how you look to learn new things so you can share your experiences with others about what you've learned. And that's kind of how you show up in a room of like, oh, like here's this cool thing that I learned that I feel like would be really beneficial in this like situation.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Also, though, Saturn in Aries sets a lot of goals and goes for them. So I don't know if that's you as well, but that's what I read as what Saturn in Aries would be.
It is.
Yep.
That's pretty good though. So far, you're doing really good with
and
this.
Just for everybody out there, she's never met me.
No,
we never talked.
No clue.
We met when we went right before we went live. So the reading and the stuff that you did it's pretty point on with me.
Like I said, not to make it sound like we're 100 years old, but she's 29. She's not on Facebook, so she's not like friends with us or doesn't even know us. You know, I reached out to her out of the blue after she, asked about the expo. So this is
that
good.
was amazing that you got that from that.
Wait, there's more. I'm sure there's some bad in there. Go ahead, Bri.
I have 2 more things about the chart.
Here it comes.
Okay, so again, also your Jupiter and your Venus are both in Leo, which again tells me like you find success in life when you're having fun and when you're finding entertainment. Okay. And also because your Leo is your ascendant, which is this is how other people see you. Mm-hmm. Like people see you as this person that is making money by having fun, or like could, like that could be your life path. Yeah. So
no bad stuff, huh?
And so there's like kind of the darker part of the chart that I'm like, I don't know if they want me to bring that.
Come on, Bri, give it to us.
We got it.
Give it to us.
We can handle it.
Because there's this comment meteor. I don't really know what exactly this planet is, but it's called Chiron, and it's a wound that we heal throughout our life over and over again.
Okay.
And so your Chiron is in Pisces. Both of yours are, but it's in, again, different places, different houses. And for you, it would be you opening up about your emotions in some way, and someone's just shutting them down. And I don't know if this was like, because it's in an inner house, it's like has to do with like the inner world, and like someone really close to you maybe like really shutting you down every time you were trying to like share your experience or like creative self or that sort of thing. So it's either related to that, or ninth house could read as like religion, like victimized for having a certain belief system. So
Wow.
Yeah.
You're dead on, huh?
Dead on.
Wow.
Dead on.
That was awesome.
Impressive.
Wow.
And one more thing I'll note.
And we got it for free.
Wait a minute. She's got one more note.
As a little bit of advice for you, Chris, just because I see how much fire you have in your chart. You actually have a fire trine, which means you have all these creative ideas that you're like, let's do it. You don't have much air in your chart, which is like thinking over those ideas and like how to best execute them. And so I would say to like slow down sometimes and give yourself a little bit more time to like ruminate over things before you just like jump into something.
Oh, I'm impulsive. 100%. You got that right.
Let me explain to you what's going on during this whole entire reading. I'm getting nudged.
I am, for him to stop.
Every time that's what's going on the whole entire time. She's like so engulfed in what you're saying and nodding.
She's so accurate.
I know.
It's scary.
That's what I mean. She's really good. You think I just pick losers to come on here? No. I sense. You're going to find out in a minute when she does mine that the word superpower probably comes up at least 5 times. Go ahead, Bri.
John, I love your chart. It's very sweet.
Thank you.
It's very sweet.
Thank you. It's all true, by the way. Go ahead.
Are you ready? Are you ready for this?
He's ready.
Okay. So, your outer expression, how you show up in the world, is related to serving others in your 6th house of service. And it's related to Scorpio energy, which Scorpio is the sign of going deep into a subject, going into every single little detail. And this is not just information that you're reading. No, this is the guy 3 houses down that had an experience one time. This is like the podcast that you found online that nobody has listened to from like 1972. Like this is like diving deep, deep, deep into information so that you can figure something out and help other people around you with it.
And you would call that a superpower, wouldn't you, Bri?
Yeah.
Yes, you would.
That would. Scorpio is superpower for sure.
Okay, that's good.
So that would be your outer expression. And so I guess I wanted to actually use this as like an example of like, okay, so like that's how you're expressing your Scorpio. But like think about like serial killers and those Scorpios.
Wait, hold on a minute.
Where
did this go all of a sudden?
Just think about it.
She gets superpower, I get serial killer?
You're choosing to use yours in like a really cool way. Okay. Because if there was some person that had a worse experience, they could be using that ability to go deep into information to like hurt other people. So that's the point I want to make, is like
positive
how it's different.
As long as we clarified that for the viewers. Thank you.
I was just making a distinction.
I like you,
how it could be used to like both ways.
Oh my God, I wish it stopped now. Hold on, we're losing the feed all of a sudden. What's going on here? Is it raining out? Storm?
Okay. Ready for more?
I'm ready.
All right.
How can we top that? Your
moon is in Virgo, which actually works with her sun in Virgo, because it's like you get that part of her. So it's like, it's practical. Your inner world, how you express emotions, is very practical. You like things to be organized. You like things to be in a way that you can kind of understand it. And it's also in your house of curiosity and childlike wonder. So the way that you're expressing your emotions is very much like a little child that's curious and wants things organized and is figuring out things in the world and like practically. So
Okay, I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
You have a Mercury in Scorpio as well. So you have a lot of Scorpio energy. Mercury, again, is the planet of processing, communicating. And so even more so than just your outer expression being this person that dives deep into things, the way that you process information, same thing. Just makes it even enhanced more. You really know how to dive deep into information and get into all of that to process it for the purpose of helping others. Like, it's like double whammy. And it's also what I'm getting to is like, it's like an obsessive type of thing. Like you can't finish the process until you've gone deeper down the hole and I've like found the thing. And then you're like, okay, now I can.
Nothing half-assed with this guy ever.
No, but she's right. I mean, the mystery, the questions, the finding. I do.
That's
Once I
him
get
to
in
a
it,
T.
I'm in. You know.
Yeah.
It's a superpower.
Mm-hmm. So your Mars, what you do a lot. So Mars action, what you're doing all the time, is in Libra. So, and also in your 5th house, childlike wonder and curiosity. So you're like hanging out with people all the time. So Mars and Libra, hanging out with people, relationships. And yeah, just like hanging out with your close ones, doing things that are fun. And 5th house is the house of joy, just like trying to have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
5th house is also, I don't know if I should say this, but I'm just going to say it because I wrote it down anyways.
Go ahead.
Like 5th house is the house of like dating. So it could be when you were in the dating world, you actually really enjoyed getting to know people and their stories, just because you find people interesting in general.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. And Libra is also related to like partnerships, relationships. So it's like spending a lot of time doing things within your relationship, romantic relationship.
That's true.
Venus, how you take care of yourself and others, how you express love, or how you make your finances security related. Very practical and structured. So this is like building things for other people. It's in the 8th house, which is like the house of, it is quite a spiritual, like energetic like house. So it's like kind of creating a safe space energetically for other people.
Yeah.
This energy is very like, you want to be seen as like a safe, stable, and grounded person for other people to come to you about like their needs.
So just to check, you're talking about me, not Mother Teresa, right? Is that, you have the right chart there?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
I mean, it's not like on a, again, this is just, right. You probably do something with finances where it's very practical and right. Like you built something and then it's like supporting other people.
Right. Oh yeah. More than you know.
Like, that's what your Venus is reading as.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, got that right.
And the funny thing is, you don't know the details, so it's so bizarre to hear the things that you're saying that are spot on.
Oh yeah, it's creepy.
I guess so.
I'm afraid to get to the comment thing. That seems to be the bad.
This is just my life. The Chiron. Okay, so your Saturn is in Aries as well, like I said. But I obviously found it interesting that your Saturn is in Aries in the 12th house, which is unseen worlds. It's asserting your authority in unseen worlds.
Ooh.
Which means what?
It's like the way that you have this ability to, like, when something crazy is happening, you just jump in and you're
oh hell yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's like this instinct of like, if someone's having a tough time, you're like, I'll help you. And that's how you're like asserting your authority, is like
Yeah.
this feeling of
Okay.
needing to like physically be there and like
Yeah, that's me. Unfortunately, on a boom, on a moment's notice, I'm up and out
yeah,
if it needs to happen. Yeah, superpower. You're right. Go ahead.
superpower. Jumping into action in crazy situations. um so okay, and then your Jupiter is in Virgo also, so you have a lot of Virgo energy in your chart and a lot of Scorpio is like where you're pulled the most. And so Jupiter in Virgo is this energy of finding success when you're having fun improving projects that you're working on.
Yep. For sure.
So it's like nurturing the growth of like your creative projects,
Right.
or
Feeding it. Yeah, it feeds it.
And then your Chiron.
Here we go. Come on, hit me with it.
This is why when I read into your energy, this is why I just love you so much. Is
Okay.
like it's this feeling like every time there's a Chiron in the 11th house, it's like feeling misunderstood when you were younger. It's like being like left out of like things and like people not treating you well. And so because of that, like when someone's the underdog, you want to like jump in and like stand up for them and be like I'm here for you. Like they shouldn't treat you that way.
Yeah.
And so that happens over and over to like help you like heal that wound.
Yeah. No, that's 100%. I mean, even with myself at this age now, I still have that mentality, even for myself. I look at myself as the underdog and that same person, and I prove what I need to prove over and over and over again. And I do root for the underdog and try to do what I can if I can help them out. I mean,
even if the underdog's a villain.
Well, there's also it's like Chris is good with kids too, but you're also good with kids because you can connect with this sense in them if like someone's if something's not going right, you just want to get in there and help them with it, of just like, nah, like you got this, dude. Like you don't want them to go through what you went through.
No, never. And wow, that's really good.
That's very good.
Wow. I am impressed. I really am. I mean, I didn't know what to expect here. I really didn't. And I'm like, wow.
Can I also give a little advice for you? I have just a little note on your chart.
I knew there was a but.
You actually, no, your chart is actually very balanced. So it doesn't, but your pole is in these houses where you're helping other people.
Yeah.
So you need to balance yourself out by finding things that nurture you and that fulfill your needs on a personal level, so that you can continue to help others.
Bri, did she call you before this? Is this what's going on here? Was I set up?
Bri,
was I set up?
Bri, you do not know how essential that message is.
I don't even want to get off this live feed now.
Holy cow. But I want to bring up the other aspect of what Bri does that completely charmed me, and I could sit and listen to you nonstop. I think you're going to be my new stress reliever.
Aww.
You sing. You write music and you sing.
Yeah.
Could you explain that to those that are following and watching?
Yeah. Well, that's actually originally what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a musician.
Got a great voice.
What I wanted to like both my parents are musicians. I've always had this natural ability to just create music from like what I'm feeling. And because of my sickness, that got tougher and tougher, because every time I was in a place, well, now I'm looking back on it differently, of why I was having such a hard time being a musician, is because I was in a place and all this energy was trying to talk to me, and while I was trying to do stuff in a meditative state that is playing music. But that's what I kind of connect with now, of like helping with kind of sharing my story as a medium, is like putting my story into my music.
And it is therapeutic as well. I mean, I listen to music as therapy. When I go for a walk or a run and I have that music on in my, headphones, and I'm just doing what I'm doing, it kind of clears everything and brings perspective back. And I'm sure being creative and being able to, it's kind of.
I hope that everybody on here goes over, and I don't know if you're on YouTube. Is that where you pulled up the music that you played that she was doing?
Yeah, I have to find her website.
Because we
here.
want to put it out there because I'm telling you, I didn't know what he was doing and he started playing and I turned to him and I was like, who is that and who's doing, because that is like so, it just resonated with me and it was so calming. And I was actually going through hectic stuff at the time. So that was very unique. So I do hope that you do more of that and put that out there more.
Well, people are asking if she would consider doing an astrology reading for them. Are you open to that, or
like right now?
no? I mean, in general,
In
in the future, if they were like, yeah, let's do another 10.
No.
I mean, no, I mean, like they want to reach out to you and see if they can get a reading from you in the future.
The one thing I would suggest that because it can get overwhelming if people do keep asking, is maybe you won't take money, but maybe they can do a donation towards some like mental health or whatever, physical, or for someone that's in need, like
Or you give it to me. Or
but that might be an idea too.
With the astrology, I feel like because I've done so many charts, that is like what I'm comfortable doing. Like money, like that is where I'm trying to build a business as an astrology.
Okay,
well,
good.
you should.
So,
You should.
yeah.
should.
Starseermysteries.com is my website. My Bandcamp, you can find my Bandcamp from there. Or you can type in my name, Bri Capirsi. But it's all in one. All my expression is in one place.
And that's starseermysteries.com.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'll post that after this interview so you guys could just go right to it. But I would definitely get a reading from you now that we've done this. I mean, hey, that was pretty good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, two people are doing.
I don't
one,
like that I was compared to
but
a serial
the fact
killer
that you
for
did
a
two.
minute there, but
Thank you, Sharon. Sharon just posted that on the page. Thank you, Sharon. You were so dead on. There wasn't one single thing that was way out in left field. Not one. Everything was pretty dead on.
you did good.
Thanks. I'm really bad. I'm like humble. I'm like, sure, great.
No, I mean it's
really
just
did
it's
good. I was surprised.
I'm in awe of you. I really am, for what you went through and to reach this level and be productive. I don't think, unless other people have out there and who have suffered and gone through something as debilitating, can understand what that means to come out the other side and be the person that you are today.
Yeah, and it's been a really lonely journey, and that is also like what I want to say is like, if there are people out there, like I want to talk to you about what you're going through. Like, yeah. I mean, I didn't really have many people to talk to about the scary stuff happening with me. So
Getcha. I feel you.
It's what I do, Bri. I bring people together. It's in my chart. You probably missed that line.
It is, yes.
But, I'm like Dr. Phil, Oprah, all that in one. It's in there. It was that other comment that flew by that you didn't read that part.
You laugh, but they call him the paranormal savior.
It's true. It's true.
Oh, that's Saturn Aries.
I have my cub. I have my own mug that says that. But thank you, Bri. I appreciate you joining us. I know that kind of was a weird thing, me reaching out to you, and you were really good enough to do this, and I think you did great, and I think you're going to be hearing from people for readings for sure. I really do.
And I hope you're up to coming back in and having more discussions and talking to us about your journey.
Yeah.
I'd love to share more because I've had so many experiences that I'd just love to talk about.
We would love to.
For another day.
You're very interesting, well-rounded, very grounding person. And I think people like you need to be more front and center, especially with as negative as the world has become. So we do need, you've become a beacon, a light is what I call it, for a lot of positive. And that's really important.
Thank you.
She likes to take credit for having you on.
No, I'm not taking any credit for anything. That was all you. I'm just saying.
Is that in her chart too, taking credit for things?
She is an amazing person. She's just like, and I'm just like, I again, wow.
All right, Bri, we'll talk soon and we'll have you back on. And like I said, I think you're going to get a bunch of people reaching out to you for readings. I do.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for having me. I love you guys.
Well, take care of yourself and,
thank you.
Good luck on your journey there.
You guys too.
Have fun in Utah.
I will.
Take care.
Good night, Bri.
Bye.
She was really good. Really good.
Very good. I enjoyed that. Every aspect of it.
Yeah. I mean, that surprised me. I wasn't sure what an astrology reading would consist of. I thought it'd be kind of hokey and tarot-y and not really on point.
Come on, guys.
Just kind of vague.
Was she not? And again, the fact that she sings too, I think is amazing. I mean, she is.
But that was it. This is somebody who's not a very well-known reader, medium. This is someone I just, again, met on a whim through an email about the expo, and I talked to her and I watched her videos, and I was like, hey, let's have her on. You know what I mean? Let's get to know this person, even if she's not well-known. And this is what we do here. Again, introducing more people, more journeys to the people, to all of us, so we can all meet them together.
But I go back to what I said before. I take these out. There's so much negativity out there in the world. It's really nice to see the positive, the people out there who are putting positive and giving back, and people who have suffered. And she doesn't have a reason to be positive and to be out there for people.
No,
but yet she's putting herself out there and doing this with what she went through, and that in itself, those are the type of people I'm drawn towards, and I'm just in awe of, because it's not an easy thing to do.
No, she's from Utah. She's not coming to the expo. She reached out about coming, but we're completely full at this point. So anyway, what I got out of all that is that my aura was better, my spirit animal was better, and now my astrology, I'm 3 for 3. So that's what I got out of that. And good choice. Thank you. Yeah. And again, this is someone that I reached out to, and for me, it's always about
right, Charlene.
It's always about that first impression. When I spoke to her on the phone and I got what you guys just got, but over the phone, I knew that we needed to have her on, and I thought you guys would like her, and I thought you would like her. And
I did. A lot of people, I have to say this, because a lot of people said they liked the way that my hair was and everything, and I do have to say this was because of Tanya. Tanya showed me and got me something to do my hair like that, and I just want to.
I'm going to wear mine for the next one,
because I thought that was really nice of Tanya and stuff that she did that for me.
All right, guys. Tomorrow night we are live from the Creeper Gallery. The Haunted Doll Marathon continues with 4 more haunted dolls that we will be investigating tomorrow night, beginning at 8 o'clock. So we'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Be safe, stay healthy, and remember, please be kind. It matters.
All right, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.